everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay or Wait, and today I'm going to be reviewing Charmed Season 1, Episode 9, Jingle Hell. And let me just go ahead and give you a disclaimer. I had dinner with my aunt who was in town, and she had me drinking shots of tequila. So if I seem a little bit off, that's probably why, because the liquors are starting to kick in. So let's go ahead and get into this review so I can go to sleep, so hopefully I can make it to work tomorrow. So it's Christmas. Everyone's celebrating Christmas at the house, and so everyone is apprehensive about Mel going undercover to the Soprano. We saw in last week's episode that that's what the elders wanted her to do, and so Harry was very apprehensive, like, hey, they might already be on to you. They're very dangerous. I just don't know how I feel about this. And even her sisters shared the same sentiments. They're just like, something just doesn't feel right about this. So we see that. Then we flash to Hunter and Parker doing whatever into some church to steal some little necklace and stuff. And so then I think they get away with it. And then this clergyman comes and he starts saying something and hitting this little staff thing. And then the bottom start opening like a little prison or a little jail. And I thought they almost had him. But then now Hunter went and took the little clergy dude out, and the Parker was like, no, don't kill him. He was like, look, I'm really getting sick and tired of your little human side messing stuff up. So he basically says he ain't gonna kill him. And then, okay, Parker was like, let's go. And he was like, but wait, I want to take the little staff thing. And he was like, fine, do what you want to do. I don't care, I'm leaving. So when he leave, then Hunter, not dumb behind, but evil behind, go ahead and stab the little clergyman instead and kills him. So then we switch back to the little house. They having a little kickback real quick. Do you call it a kickback if it's really just your family there? But yeah, they having a little kickback for Christmas. And so Maggie basically telling Harry, like, hey, you can't put red next to red for the ornaments. And I was like, yeah, Harry, like, do better. I don't understand. Like, you are proper, you are on all this etiquette stuff. I was just like, I don't understand why you thought it was okay to put two red ornaments next to each other. But yeah, that don't even matter. I'm getting sidetracked already. So Maggie and Mel get into it because Maggie's excited because her dad is supposed to be coming. She's just like, why do you even care about dad still? All he do is let us down. And Maggie's like, look, I ain't trying to hear that. This is our first Christmas after our mother passed away. He ain't gonna do us dirty like that. And she was like, girl, you must be out your mind because you talking about the same food that left us after your 5th birthday, and you think that this food just gonna show up all happy-go-lucky? No, ma'am. So they get into it. She was just like, whatever. We see that Macy is still worried about what happened to Galvin because, he got hit by the car when he was trying to go visit Macy. And so we know that the little symbol, the little thing on him was basically trying to block them from being with one another because it's dangerous for him to be around Macy. But what does Galvin do? Galvin shows up to the house. Okay, he showed up to the house to see his little boo because she said that Galvin was going away for the holidays to be with his family. So he shows up and then he got his little mistletoe and he limping and stuff because he on the crutches. And then he do the little mistletoe and then she looking all awkward and tries to lean in to kiss him, and this fool fall back and hurt himself. I was just like, this ain't nothing but a damn shame. Poor Galvin, okay? And poor Macy too. You can't even kiss your boo without him damn near dying, okay? So while he's getting his life together, Macy just said, look, I can't be around Galvin. I'm not trying to have him go out like that. So Harry, can you go give him some coquitos? I probably said that wrong, but it's like, I guess it's a Hispanic version of eggnog. And I would love for someone to school me on what that is and what's the recipe, because Galvin was like, he was already lit off of it. Harry was passed out from it. So I need to know, is it as good as it really is? Because I'm not a fan of eggnog. But I was like, if that's what it's doing to him, I need to get me some as well. So Harry's keeping him busy. And then we see that we flash to Parker, who's talking to his mom. I call her the evil heroes lady because I still haven't figured out what her name was. And so basically he's talking to her. I should have known that was his damn mama because ain't none of his parents is ish, okay? And so she basically has this amulet, and then she basically tells him he needs to put it on Maggie because she's an empath and he needs to wait until it turns black so it can take all of their powers away. And so basically it can kill his human side and make him like this demon. And so we see that his dad is also plotting on him as well with his brother Hunter when they say basically he's going to become the source. He's like the source of all evil and all this type of stuff. I'm just like, dang, don't nobody in his family care about him. It's actually really sad because all he got is Maggie, and he's sitting up here being disrespectful, shady, lying to her, trying to take her powers away. And she's the only one that even cares about you, okay, boo-boo, because you don't even deserve her. So And we see that his mom basically begs him, like, look, I need you to do this, fool, because you're going to die. Like, what you talking about? Go ahead, do what you got to do. You're going to find some other booze. You're young. This girl probably won't even matter after a while. So we see that he shows up having presents. He's like, hey, I got you a gift, boo. She was like, okay, boo. And then she's like, okay, I'm put under the tree because we don't open gifts until midnight. He was like, oh, I wanted you to do it now. And I was like, Maggie, I don't even understand why you're falling for this, because first and foremost, Parker is a horrible liar. I was just like, this dude looked like he lying. And then we see that when he actually shakes hands with Galvin, we see that Galvin's little thing glows, and then we saw Parker was kind of hurting, and so Mel and Macy picked up on this, and Macy was like, look, I think something wrong with Parker. I can't put my finger on it, but something didn't seem right because he wasn't feeling good after he shook hands with Galvin, and maybe this symbol is trying to protect him as well. And so she called her homegirl who told her about the symbol in the first place. She said, girl, oh no, boo-boo, don't do that. She's like, that's a demon. She's like, something ain't right with them. If that thing is glowing, then you should be knowing and that's a demon, okay? So she was like, look, I think he's a demon. Mel's like, look, we got to be sure because you already know how Maggie gonna feel. She already can't pick no good men. She ain't never had no good men this whole season so far. That ain't what she said, but that's kind of what she was saying. But she's like, okay, let's go ahead and make sure we get all the facts together before we go ahead and take it to Mel. And I was like, you know what? Not to Mel, to Maggie. And I was like, you know what? That's a really good idea. That's probably the best thing that y'all could have thought of. But before they can even do that, Hunter shows up and then hits Macy over the head after she gets off the phone with old girl saying that the dude is evil, and then he basically shapeshifts into her. Parker like, homie, what you doing? He was like, what you doing? Because it looked like you need some help. And so then he basically assumes the role of Macy, and then he tries to walk into the house, and then he flies all the way back because clearly this thing is still trying to protect Galvin. And then Mel was like, girl, what is going on? What you doing on the floor, girl? And so he come up with this whole little spiel like, I think the thing is malfunctioning. That's what the lady told me over the phone. So I need you to do this spell, give it to Galvin, basically make him drink the entire thing, and it should fix it, which it does. She was like, I'm finna go snuggle up to my boo and give him like a little something afterwards. And Mel was like, girl, what you talking about? I thought you was a virgin. And he was like, Beesh, I'm a virgin? That ain't what he said, but that's what he was thinking. And then she was like, you sounded real convincing. And she's like, I was just playing, girl. Like, don't listen to what I be saying. So she all booed up with Galvin, trying to get all of that together. But in the meanwhile, we see that Mel and Harry eventually end up finding out what that damn necklace does because they saw that it changed color. And so she's like, something ain't right. And so Mel goes to talk to Maggie about it. And Maggie was like, why you never want me to be happy? You always up in your feelings, always saying that you think that something's wrong with this person. Like, you don't think I could be a good judge of character? And I was like, girl, obviously not, because this fool been a demon the whole time and you ain't never been able to figure this out. And so they go to do a little bit more research. In the meantime, during that argument, their dad texts them like, hey, I ain't gonna be able to make it. And Maggie was like, you happy? Mel was like, girl, I wasn't trying to be happy, but I told you he was a deadbeat. And so they look up and find out Harry and Mel figure out that, look, Parker's a demon. This thing is trying to drain our powers. And then so basically, as they go to confront them, Hunter pops up. Hunter is talking to Harry, and then Macy's calling him because she wakes up from consciousness, and she calls Harry, and then Harry's like, if Macy's calling me right now, who the hell is you? And so then Hunter tried to start killing him. Then he shapeshifts into something else, shapeshifts into Maggie. And I was like, this is too much. What is going on right now? And the whole time I'm thinking, where the hell is Galvin during all of this hoopla, them fighting in the backyard? I was like, Galvin, you don't hear none of this that's happening right now. So they end up getting into it. Then Maggie discovers that Parker is a demon. Hunter's his brother. He turned to the little shadow thing to try to stop Hunter. Hunter's like, you was going to kill me over this girl? Over her? That's what you was about to do today? Daddy was right about you, okay? And so they get into it. Then they have this whole little melodramatic, I trusted you. I thought you loved me. He was like, I care about you. And she was like, you were going to drain my powers. I personally felt as though that they probably should have waited a couple of episodes until we had kind of this revelation, because it's only been like 1 or 2 episodes since we found out that Parker is actually a half demon or whatnot. So I felt like they could have kept this going a little bit longer so it can kind of sting a little bit more, and so this whole little conversation will make more sense, or maybe I would feel it more, or maybe I just wasn't feeling it because I just felt so over the top in the first place. So they have all these revelations, y'all, and so they're trying to fight Hunter. Then the crows come from the Sarkana because we saw at the beginning of the episode, Mel decides to go join the Sarkana. They put this little tattoo on her and then basically they're out to protect her. And so we see the crows that attack Hunter, which are the same crows that they saw coming out of the house when their mother was murdered. And so we see later in the episode when she's talking to her, like, hey, you know what, day one, we already got to come save you. She was like, I'm looking out for you. And she's like, we tried to look out for your mother as well, because at first Mel thought that, okay, well, the evidence is clear that they really had something to do with my mother's death. But now she's confused more now than ever, because she's basically telling her, hey, we were trying to protect your mother, but we were too late. So Parker takes Maggie off to try to talk to her, like, baby, please don't leave me. Don't leave me, baby. Don't leave me. She's like, no, I'm done with you. I'm over you, okay? To the left, to the left. There is what she said. Would have been nice if they start playing that song. So everybody all sad. She go back home. They talking. Then Hunter, I almost cursed. I said I won't curse no more. So Hunter shows up and he was like, y'all thought I was done? And so then they get the little staff. Parker gets the staff. He started doing a little chant the Courage Man did, and the bottom of the floor started opening up, looking like he's about to go down to some little fiery inferno. And so then Parker starts coughing, getting sick. So then Mel starts doing it, then everybody joins in. I thought it was really cute how all of the spells was kind of using, they had to speak Spanish to do it. I love that they're incorporating more and more into that right now. And so they end up doing all of that. The Power of Three, they get together to do it. But then Harry started flying, and I was like, Lord, Harry ain't finna fall up in this thing. Y'all, there's too much that's going on. And what happens? Hunter falls. He grabs onto Harry. Harry falls, gets trapped, and now we don't know what the hell's going on now. So yeah, Harry's trapped, y'all. He trapped wherever they at. I don't know. Are they in prison, some type of hell? I don't know where they at. But it's a lot going on now. So now they got to figure out how they going to get Harry out. What are the repercussions for Parker with his dad now that his brother's being trapped as well? I don't know. But I thought this episode was okay. I feel like last week's episode a little bit better. I mean, this was cool. I just felt like it happened too soon. I mean, especially since we already know this is kind of following the same plot that happened in the previous Charm. But yeah, to each his own. I thought the episode was okay. It was nothing bad. They do need to work on their CGI, because the CGI for some of this stuff in this episode, even how Parker looks as this little shadow thing, I just need y'all to do a little bit better. Hopefully they give you guys more budget. I know it's the first season. Y'all don't have all the glitz and the glam as you normally would, but y'all need to do better with this CGI. But this episode was okay. It was average for me. It was nothing special. It was nice to see Macy a little bit evil for a little bit of a moment. But yeah, so then we see Galvin pop up, because they said Galvin was asleep the whole time. I don't know how the hell you sleep between all of this. But then we see when Harry gets sucked up, we see that Galvin was watching the whole thing, and he looking like, what the hell is going on over here? So those are pretty much my thoughts on Charmed Season 1, Episode 9, Jingle Hell. As always, my name is Sharona from Pay or Wait, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell, and I will see you soon.